Can phosphate rock have liming values? This is important, people are asking. Normally, the neutralization by uptake, the pH is only about 0.5 units. If you have higher than this value, it could be the calcite dolomite in the phosphate rock. Although the 0.5 unit, it could have the effect on exchangeable aluminum and calcium, and so on. So the reactive phosphate rock is not considered as a liming material, but it could raise the soil pH and exchangeable calcium. It's because, you know, the exchangeable aluminum normally decrease sharply around about pH 5.2, 5.3. So even increase the pH a little bit, it can reduce the exchangeable aluminum a lot. Give you an example. This is the Bayovar rock in incubation, exchangeable aluminum versus no control and TSP. You can see that Bayovar rock reduced the ammonium exchangeable aluminum, you know, in the soil pH 4.8. This is the exchangeable calcium that increase exchangeable calcium versus TSP and check. This shows the Bayovar North Carolina performing better than TSP and Wheeler and Pesca in Colombia. This is not due to phosphorus. It's due to aluminum toxicity in this oxy soil. So that's the benefit of reactive phosphate rock, could reduce the toxic aluminum. Like skip this. The crop species can affect the phosphate rock. So if you compare the perennial and the plantation crops such as oil palm, pasture, tea, rubber versus annual crops, the canola and mucuna. And short-term crops, vegetable, of course, is not so effective. The gypsum phosphate rock that I was the first one to report, the gypsum rock is almost 88% as good as TSP, at a soil pH 7.9. In alkaline soil, nobody will use the phosphate rock, right? But I found that for canola, it could be 89% as good as TSP. Of course, it depends on phosphate rock reactivity. Like a low reactivity China rock, even canola cannot chew it, cannot eat it. So that's important thing. Now, here I want to point out the mucuna and oil palm. So if you have a combination of oil palm, mucuna, plus Bayovar rock, what else you can ask for? 3 best input. Now, we all know that rock has a long-term residual effect. Say crop 1, this is a field bean in Colombia. Lime to 4.9 to 5.5, so that reduced the Satura reactives. That the crop 1 is lower than TSP, and then crop 2 about the same, and crop 3 perform better than TSP. So it demonstrates the highly reactive rock has long-term residual effect than water-soluble peat. Comparing the Bayovar versus Egypt and Christmas Island for oil palm, because not much information, it's very scarce. However, some reports on the North Carolina gypsum and Christmas and Egypt for young oil palm response. And published data also compare Bayovar rock versus Egypt and for non-oil response. So we can make indirect comparison to predict the agronomic effectiveness of these 3 phosphate rocks, that is Egypt, Christmas Island, and Bayovar. By indirect comparison, this is the prediction or estimation. The assumption is this: if A rock is greater than B rock, and B is greater than C for non-oil palm crops, then it must be always A must be greater than C, or the worst will be equal. But you never get A rock less than C rock for oil palm. Would you agree? Would you agree? This is the assumption, but mathematically should be okay, right? The reason, because oil palm is long-term crop, this may not be always greater than C. Sometimes it could be equal, but most of the time it should be greater. So if you look at, this is for ryegrass, and then Bayovar, Egypt, right? This is for ryegrass. So the conclusion is that Bayovar is better than Egypt for ryegrass. Therefore, Bayovar rock must be greater or equal Egypt rock for oil palm. Would you agree? Yes. You would not expect Bayovar less than Egypt for oil palm, would you? No. So that's indirect comparisons. And another one, Bayovar versus Egypt, this is for wheat, grain yields. Again, the grain yields, eh? And Bayovar is better than Egypt for wheat. Therefore, Bayovar must be greater or equal Egypt for oil palm. No? Mathematically, it's okay, right? How about these three sources? Highly reactive Bayovar, North Carolina, GAFSA. This is a general observation. Bayovar greater equal North Carolina, Bayovar greater equal GAFSA. Most of the times equal, sometimes greater. This like this. So let's compare with GAFSA versus Christmas Island for immature oil palm. It's done by Chien in 2001. So based on this result, GAFSA greater than Christmas Island. Bayovar Rock greater or equal GAFSA. Therefore, Bayovar must be greater or equal Christmas Island rock for immature oil palm. All right? I know that other speakers will give you the actual data for oil palm, but I don't. You cannot grow oil palm in greenhouse. There's no way. Okay? Okay. That shows the oil palm seedlings from Sahara. One of the speakers here. The North Carolina rock better than Christmas Island. So North Carolina rock is better than Christmas Island, as shown in here. Bayovar is greater or equal North Carolina. Therefore, Bayovar must be greater or equal Christmas Island rock for the oil palm seedling. All right. And then I skip this one. This is a phosphate rock decision support system. You can look at later on. The highly reactive phosphate rock also can provide increased N and K uptake, not just a P. In other words, that if you use the highly reactive rock, it enhances the utilization of nitrogen and potassium. This is well known. Look at the biological nitrogen fixation, also important for the reactivity. Bayovar, Mali, medium, and then Togo low. This used the M15 tracer studies in 1995. And this is applies to Macuna. This is for soybean, but applies to any kind of biological nitrogen fixation. Requires the phosphorus in order to have a biological nitrogen fixation. So you have the oil palm, Macuna, and then Bayovar phosphate rock. Excellent combination. Additional benefits of agronomic use of phosphate rock. One is the Bayovar rock has high chlorine content, 4%. Lowering fluorine content by water washing is required before acidulation to avoid corrosion of machine. But for direct application, this chloride is not a problem. Therefore, cost of producing Bayovar phosphate rock for agronomic use direct application should be lower than acidulation process. We now have people from Valley. I told Valley people, you sell the Bayovar rock for direct application, price should be lower than for acidulation. And so Union Harvest can bargain with the Valley, say, you say cheaper, right? So farmers can cheaper product. The second one is the ungrounded Bayovar phosphate rock can be used without final grinding, so it saves the grinding cost for Bayovar rock. And finally, Bayovar rock has about 47% of molybdenum, MO. That is essential for biological nitrogen fixation, such as soybean, clover, and Macuna, because of MO. So Bayovar performs better than GAFSA in the soil with low molybdenum. It has the benefits of molybdenum. And give you one example, this is done in New Zealand. The Satura rock performs better than TSP because the MO, the molybdenum response. Okay? And if I may use 1 minute, 1 minute is still okay. This one, this is called phosphate rock fertility in 1995. I gave the first presentation. From 1995 to 1995, about 20 years, staff members work on phosphate rock program, produced 24 babies. 3 sets of the baby were in twins. My younger son was born the first in 1976. One of my lab assistants from single marriage to mother produced 7 babies, including the last 2 in twins. And she had so many babies, she quit the job. She said, no more on phosphate rock. So joking, we say we try to rename the IFDC as International Fertility Development Center. So the caution to people who work on phosphate rock, researchers, marketing people, agronomic advisors, don't be surprised to have unexpected babies someday. Okay? So thank you very much. That concludes the presentation.